Generally, when you think of the ThinkPad, a couple words come to mind. Business-driven, reliability, versatility. I know when I'm buying a ThinkPad, when I see that IBM logo, that there's some semblance of quality. I know that this is gonna last me, and it's not gonna be a piece of shit that breaks in 2 years. But one line of ThinkPads goes against all of those rules, all right? Let me introduce you to the I series. Yeah, so those of you who are knowledgeable about the ThinkPad, the I series is the home version of the ThinkPad. Because keep in mind, selling these to the home user generally isn't gonna have like $5,000 or $8,000, especially in 2000 when this thing came out, to spend on a laptop. So IBM was like, you know what, we need to make a budget ThinkPad and we need to save money in some aspects. And you're about to see where they saved the money. Yeah, it's not good. But first impressions are, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, it's fucking bad. Right, you already see the broken corner right here. But other than that, it's a very attractive looking laptop. I love this nice grayish, silverish color. I really wish they went with a little bit more color variance throughout the 2000s and the 90s. Because if we look right here, it's always black. This one stands out and it looks very sexy. Give it a tour around, and first things first, I don't know if you see that, cracks on the lid. Let that set a precedence for this ThinkPad. Oh, by the way, yoink. Yeah, it's that easy. Anyway, so there are a couple things that makes this ThinkPad actually somewhat attractive. So on the side right here, we got our DVD drive. Go around here, and you got your standard ports you'd expect. Power, PS2, parallel. Ooh, we got modem and Ethernet. About time. So there's some good ideas going on here. It's just not executed very well. VGA, you got, really wish these weren't on the back. You got your headphone microphone. USB, because it is the year 2000 after all. Oh, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Hearing that scrape. And yeah, I did this glue job myself. Another USB. I'll put a picture of what this thing used to look like throughout the video. PCMCA, hard drive, and oops, that wasn't too gentle, was it? Where did that hard drive cover go? Hard drive cover is over here. I'll eventually put that back in. So yeah, so some good things going on, some bad things going on, but the worst thing about this is definitely the build quality. The I series was very notorious for having very low build quality because again, they had to save on costs. So let's open this thing up. So you may hear cracking, you may not. Let's see. It's definitely not. Oh no! Oh no! It came off. Yeah. Gonna eventually have to put that back on. Damn it. So overall, from a distance, excluding the broken piece, it's a very sexy looking laptop. I love the color. The color is very nice. I love the palm rest. The design overall is very nice. Go here. But the hinges, what is this? What is this hinge? There is no hinge. There's literally no hinge. And this is one of the biggest design flaws of this ThinkPad. The hinges are crap. All right. When you take a look at another ThinkPad, look at those hinges. You know that's not gonna break. You've got strong hinges. Yeah, so generally, because the hinges are so shite, what happens as a result is the bezel takes on all the pressure. So once I open this a little bit more, doesn't sound too good, does it? And see how that's on an angle. So if you look on eBay right now, take a look at that. And they're all like this. All the I series are like this. There's no hinge right there. Like, what is that? What kind of support is that, honestly? It's crap, and look, it's breaking right there. All of them are like this. The other ThinkPads don't do this. And you may be saying like, oh, aren't these the ones made by Acer? No. No. This is all IBM. And for IBM to release such a shoddy product, I don't care if it's 21 years too late. This is unacceptable. For a company like IBM, and look at this fucking plug. Trying to sell this for $500. Get the fuck out of here. Let's take a look at the box though. The box is quite interesting. It's kind of funny that boxes add so much value. Generally, ThinkPads go to business users, so whenever you want to find a box ThinkPad, whenever you can find a box ThinkPad, it's generally going to be an I series because they are home ThinkPads. I used to work for a Lenovo vendor for a little bit, and I throw dozens among dozens of boxes, and I'm literally crying every day because of it. So, unfortunately, there's no documentation, but just the whole design of it from the time is relatively cool, actually. I quite like this. So yeah, you got your kit accessory. So it did include some stuff in here, like a really disgusting headset and stuff. I wish there was documentation, but yeah, that's it for the box. Nothing really to talk about there. One cool thing though is it states the date where this laptop was manufactured. So this laptop is from June 12th of 2000. That's probably older than everyone watching this video. Celeron processor, and we're gonna get into the specs later on. So, other side of the box right here, I series, right there, and yeah, that's it. Literally, even with this condition, because these guys are trying to sell these things as part machines for like, you know, $100. I could easily, just with the box alone, get like $500 out of this. That's really stupid, and that should not be a thing. But unfortunately, it is a thing. All right, so next, let's power this thing up. Well, I might as well talk about some of the repairs I had to do. So yeah, the LCD is damaged a lot. Fortunately though, the chassis is pretty good. The keyboard. So you may be saying, well, the previous owner probably used and abused this thing. No. I can tell when someone takes good care of a computer. And I can tell that the previous owner tried to take good care of it. Because look at the keyboard. Generally, when a computer is, you know, abused and abused, the keyboard is the worst affected area because it's being used most often. Where's the wear? There is no wear, because you open this up over time, you know, again, hinges are shite, so this is what happens as a result. I had to glue this back on, and glue that back on, and glue that back on. And I honestly think I did a decent job. This isn't going to be a showpiece or anything, but this is just for me. If the build quality was nice, I would actually consider this to be a very good, you know, go-to retro computer, just because, you know, built-in Ethernet and all that stuff. But I will get into that later on, because even that was very questionable. So if you thought all the negatives just stopped at, you know, the cracked lid, you'd be wrong, because even if this thing was in perfect condition, well, this is what presents us. Turn it on, and take a look at the greatest display known to man from 2000. Yes! Yes! It looks so good. Complete with mouse trails and everything. If you didn't know, this is a dual scan display. Seriously, IBM? 2000 dual scan display? I thought we were past this. Like, seriously? My God! Alright, so we look at our specs. These are actually pretty decent for what you get. 500 megahertz Celeron processor. Damn, brah. I replaced the 6 gig hard drive with a 30 gig hard drive. 64 megs of RAM, so the specs are pretty respectable for what you get. But again, the build quality is shit, and the dual scan display, -2 points for those. But let's boot into Windows. This originally came shipped with Windows 98 or Windows 2000, but I opted to go with the best Windows operating system ever, Windows Me. Why did I do such a thing? Well, I'll tell you why. Because generally, Windows Me has pretty good driver support for 98 hardware, which this technically is 98 hardware. This laptop predates Windows Me by a couple months. Unfortunately, when I booted in, I was presented with 16 colors, and I was just like, oh, that's fun. And by the way, installing the drivers on this thing fucking sucks, because literally every single driver is a manual installation. No wizards, it just extracts the files and you gotta install them yourself. Come on, man. Are you serious? Like, when I install Windows 98 on that Aptiva, it's all wizards. It installs everything so easily. But on here, for this cutting-edge laptop from 2000, you gotta do it all manually. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, come on. And by the way, look, the Ethernet adapter, we're gonna get into that later on. Windows networking, well, fuck you. Ugh. I don't really like that Windows boot up sound. I think it's probably the weakest one. I don't have much experience with Windows Me, but I'm pretty sure this wallpaper that I have is a Japan exclusive. All right, so here's the desktop. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? As soon as we move the mouse though, yeah. It's not the worst I've seen. I've seen way, way worse. 365 XD is much worse than this, but 365 XD is a much better laptop by comparison. I actually love using the 365 XD, even with its horrendous dual scan screen. All right, so this laptop would generally, how is this laptop attractive? Why would you want to buy this laptop? Well, let's come up with some reasons. You can install Windows 9X on it, so it should be able to play DOS games, right? Well, I got a DOS game right here called Marble Cooking. With these specs, this thing should be a gaming beast. I mean, it does have a dual scan display, but it's not that bad. It's not going to be unplayable. It may strain your eyes a little bit, so let's start up a game. This one's called Marble Cooking. It's pretty good. So we got this starting up. And this game, is not too intensive, so you can play like, strategy-based games or visual novel-based games on this and have a pretty good time, The sound card should be pretty good, shouldn't it? Well, take a listen. You like that? You like that shit, guys? Yeah. Guess what? It's one of those sound cards from the late 90s, early 2000s that's not compatible with DOS. Windows only, guys. Yes. It's so good. That sucks. That really sucks. Maybe I didn't install the driver all the way. I'm pretty sure I did, though. So you can correct me if I'm wrong with the 1161-234, but I'm pretty sure I installed it right. That sucks. Yes, I'm exiting. So, no DOS games. Ew. What else can this thing do? Well, you notice that it has a NIC card on the back. Guess what? I tried so hard to fucking install that thing. I tried literally 4 hours to get this thing on the fucking internet. I'm pretty sure the NIC card is broken. Fucking awesome. I mean, shit happens, but then again, the build quality on this thing is so bad, and I tried so many drivers. I tried the ones listed on the ThinkPad site that should have been compatible. They would not work. The drivers simply would not detect the NIC card. So it's either this one variant has an extremely rare or obscure NIC card. I tried searching Japanese Google, I tried searching American Google, could not find a fucking thing that would work. And that sucks. Japanese sites were just recommending that, just buy a card that you can put in the PC and say like just a Wi-Fi card, which does make sense. But again, it just goes to show the build quality is not the best. Well, what else can this thing do then? Well, we can watch a video. That's about it we can do. So, let's do it. Let's watch some fucking show. Got this one called Handsome Girl. So you can install VLC, and it actually does work with MP4s on Windows Me, which is very nice. Just drag and drop that there. Yes. Full screen that. Shit. Oh my god. Looks pretty good actually, so I'm not sure if the show is copyrighted, but this show, I mean, look at this aesthetic though. Like some Japanese guy in 2000 was doing exactly what I'm doing right now. That's what you call aesthetically pleasing to everybody's eyes. Ooh yeah. It's so good. But can you actually watch a video on this display? Let's see. See how it looks. Wait for it to load. Oh my god. This rip is from like 1996. I know it's an MP4, but this original rip is from 1996. This thing should have no problem playing it because the resolution on this file is so unbelievably low. Like, oh my god. But no, it's sucking. Ugh. Play, please. I just want to skip. Please. Let me skip forward. Ah, screw it. I don't care. It just sucks. It honestly just sucks. So, is this all this thing can do? It can do multimedia. It can play Windows games. Is that all this thing can do? Yes. And maybe I'm being too harsh because this is a budget laptop from 2000. But then again, for IBM to release such a thing, it's honestly just kind of a stain on the ThinkPad because all these ThinkPads over here, all of them are amazing quality. All of them are amazing laptops, and all of them are laptops I'd recommend, with the exception of the 330C. Although the 330C is probably the best made ThinkPad I've ever seen. All of these are amazing. This one's not amazing. This is, I can't say black sheep, so it's the gray sheep of the ThinkPads. Let's try Inuyasha and see how that looks on here. By the way, these rips are super old. Oh god, that song is so copyrighted. So an AVI works a lot better on the old version of VLC. Looks quite decent. Also with these rips of Inuyasha, there's earthquake warnings all the time. So good. So fucking good. Alright, so time for the verdict. Do I recommend the IBM ThinkPad 1161 with the box? No. No, just steer clear of this thing, guys. I do have a couple weird things on my bucket list. One of them was to own one of these things. And all the frustration I went through to fix this thing and get Windows installed on it, especially finding out that you had to install every single driver manually on this thing, it's just a load of shit. It really is. Just steer clear of these things. If you can find them for like, I paid quite a bit. I think it was still under $100 for the box and this ThinkPad. But still, it was still, what do you get really? You can't play DOS games, you can't really do anything. And these things are really faulty and they have horrendous build quality. Like, if you can find one for $50 with the charger included, then I'd say, even that, I'd say $30, then maybe. $30 maybe, with the box. That's as high as I'm willing to go. Anyway, don't buy this thing. It sucks. It's the worst IBM ThinkPad ever made. And from what I've heard, the Acer ones are even worse. How? How are they even worse? Like, fuck off. Anyway, see you guys later.